Okay, so I just wanted to talk about the fact that CNN's Chris Cuomo brought on his brother on the network, and instead of discussing like serious issues about what Andrew Cuomo could have done to uh, prepare America, or not America but his state, better for coronavirus, he instead made light of the whole thing. As you all know, Andrew Cuomo had gotten himself tested, which was a good thing because it helped people realize that getting tested for the coronavirus isn't that difficult, or like, because like some people thought that it would be very intrusive or it would hurt them. So Andrew Cuomo got himself tested just to show how easy and like how convenient the whole process is. But the thing is that instead of going after his brother, like, I mean, Chris Cuomo, he goes after everyone on his show, right? Like, basically, if it's a Republican, he would be there attacking him. But now that it's his own brother who is in a position of power and can do something about the response, he then goes on to make light or slash distract us from the whole thing. uh, I'll just talk about what he did right now. Let me just bring up the picture. Yeah, so now I can't really show the whole video because of copyright issues, but what I can do is just play the audio alongside with the pictures. It's really not that different. It's you're not missing out on anything really.
Had video come out before we go to break where you wanted to encourage people to get tested, and some people are afraid it's going to hurt. So you had video of it that I want to show the audience of you actually getting tested. Here it is. There's you. You were kind of funny, and they were testing you. Now, a few questions about this process. First of all, is it true that when you were having the test administered, you inhaled and the doctor's finger went all the way up your nose and got stuck and had to be released with a tool? Is that true? Just to deal with the record.
She wanted to comment that I have a little button nose, and she was afraid that the swab would actually hurt because it extended my nasal cavity.
The proboscis
She's
issue
speaking about the delicacy
of the nose. And that's what, I understand. This is the normal swab I'm holding up here now for everybody at home. A very valuable object. There's only one company in the entire country that makes these up in Maine. All right, here's the swab. Is it true that this was the swab that the nurse was actually using on you, and that at first it went into your nose and disappeared, so that in scale, this was the actual swab that was being used to fit up that double-barrel shotgun that you have mounted on the front of your pretty face?
Okay, so the problem with the gag is that it distracts us from the fuck up of Andrew Cuomo. His fuck ups played a significant role in the spread of coronavirus in New York. So I think that we should talk about it. On March 1, a woman who had come to New York City tested positive for the coronavirus. The next day, Andrew Cuomo appeared with Bill de Blasio and promised that healthcare investigators would track down every person on the women's flight. But no one did. A day later, a lawyer in New York tested positive for the virus. This was quite alarming because he hadn't traveled to any affected country, so it was probable that the community spread was already taking place. Now, even though investigators tracked the lawyer's whereabouts to Manhattan, the state still focused on the suburbs and not the city. Then coronavirus cases started to rise, and Cuomo and Bill de Blasio started to tell people to not panic and said that everything is under control. Now, obviously, everything wasn't under control, and it isn't under control. And the virus has spread all over New York City. So, my point is that Chris Cuomo should have focused on these things rather than giving preferential treatment to his brother, because he hit him with like softball questions and he generally made light of the whole situation, which he wouldn't have done if it was someone else that was on. That's all for today. I'll see you guys next time.